to let everybody know there's 3 of our families that are being evicted right now. They had 48 hours last week, and they have this week, and we're fighting for time. To me, there's 3 issues that I want to talk about. We have an entity that's coming to us and trying to desecrate us, and there's not only 3 families, there's 30 behind that are on the chopping board. On one hand, we have families that are struggling with life and survival. On the other hand, you have an entity that always worry about money. It's more important. Local families, money, people being homeless. We're talking about people all are homeless in downtown. We don't know what to do with them. If you guys want to see homeless, it's coming. The system is screwed up. We've asked people from the very beginning about, despite our EV problems out in Kahuku, the count now is 4. The ground is open. They don't know what to do with them. How many of them we don't know of? We don't know. We've been asking people to come. DNR, shipped up, historic, deaf ears, write letters, meet them downtown. All the time, we take off of work to go there, spend the time to tell everybody to come. Nobody comes. And they act like they're coming, but nobody comes. Somebody has to be the guardians of the land and the guardians of the elements in the ground. Nobody's been coming. Now the judiciary system is totally chaotic. I mean, our people went into bankruptcy court, right out of bankruptcy court. They're supposed to go into another hearing into district court to hear what the status of the bankruptcy court. And the opposing counsel takes that information and goes to a judge and giving us a hard time and awards the eviction. There's supposed to be a hearing past Monday of Continental's dirty hands. Dirty hands meaning you created and conducted criminal activities, breaking the law of EV, breaking the law of, there's many issues that I can't say right now because it needs to be filed first. But the issue of dirty hands was submitted. Opposing people had 3 days prior to that hearing to submit any opposed or concerns or objections. They didn't do it. That means we should have won it, hands down. Because by default, they show up at the hearing. For some reason, the hearing is, the courtroom's locked. It's not even being used. And the hearing was postponed because they said courtrooms was too full. The only protection we have is the canon law. That takes me 6 months. These guys got the clock ticking. This whole week we've been at our lawyer's house getting all the documents, complaints, and everything together to file. All we need is a little time, but it seems like we don't. After that hearing, what's happening now is they're coming after me as president and Mr. Tubal who was the vice president before. And the thing is in court they asked him, is Mr. Maganoy behind in the rent? Has he been a bad tenant? No. Everything is no. Has he been conducting bad issues on the property? No. Has he been offered a property as in law of CPR? Like Smith? No. In other words, he evicted me for nothing. For no reason. Just because. Just because. To me, that's retaliation because I'm the president of KPRA. But everything you tell them, the judge or whatever about retaliation that I've been representing the people, everything is irrelevant. how you can tell me 28 of my life, 28 years of my life is irrelevant because I've been doing this for that. Unfairness is so unbelievable. So I guess my question to you was, because nobody have come. When I talked to Reed on the phone, his response back to me was, well, Lex Smith said that these guys would never pay their rent since August last year. These guys have been paying. I said, why don't you come to my people and ask them for proof first before you say, okay, that's all I'm going to listen to, that's all I can do. I beg you. And after our conversation, it ended up to be that he might come out and here talk to you and see if you would come and see our proof. I mean, a letter from them is not proof, it's just a letter. See the proof. I've been telling the reporters that, you know, the truth will set us free. They can say anything they like because throughout the whole project they've been saying CPR's finished, roads finished, infrastructure finished. Nothing finished. They made our flood people have to buy one property with no infrastructure on top. In the letters, they said everything will be finished. CPR finished, roads, you know, everything. No one lot will be sold until the CPR is finished. They're selling lots already. The thing not even finished. They told our families to move to this area. Everybody said that they did everything by the law, permits. They had a permit to do water lines and road. They went to the left and plowed all the trees, found Evie, and they tried to hide it. That's criminal. After all that, they have the nerve to go tell the Historic Foundation that I drive a bulldozer and I went terrorize the place, so we're destructing our own Evie. So because they did that, they took the Evie out and put it in a trailer. The very next day, they came with their roads. It's money. It's all about money. And yet we're being erased and nobody's coming. So what is this? I mean, do we go to war or what happens? So all I ask is, do we or will you come and listen to the other side?
Well, I gotta correct you, Glenn, because the fact of the matter is, we do have what Lex has stated. We talked to Tony Lopicio today. We asked him for documents to show the resident side of the story. But irrespective of that, the county has no jurisdiction over a state judicial matter. No matter what we find, all we can do is ask the landowner to stay the evictions until all legal issues have been resolved. It's, you know, with regards to staying the eviction, county has no authority, not the city council, not the mayor. That really rests between the attorneys. I mean, it's really a legal issue. You know, with respect to whether we will come out and listen, you know, Glenn, from the very inception, it was the city council that responded immediately when the issue came at hand. We passed the condemnation resolution. I put in monies to acquire the parcel. Most recently, I reaffirmed my offer to Lex Smith to take it back to Continental Pacific. We have the monies in the budget. Let the city purchase the land through a non-profit so we can work with the residents to buy it more time. You know, he hasn't responded back. So we've done everything we could do with regards to our authority and responsibility. You know, and we will continue to get involved to the very last day. But with regards to that judicial order, there's not much we can do other than ask for courtesies to stay the eviction, and we're continually doing that. Tony is supposed to send, he might have sent the documents tonight, so at least it gives us a little more leverage in asking the landowner to stay the evictions. Believe me, we're not ignoring this issue.
No, because the thing now, right now, we, three of us, are different now. We're isolated because we used to pay our rent to Continental Pacific and water to Elite, rent to Elite, water to Elite. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, they tell Joe Cabal to start paying your rent to Lex Smith. We don't have an agreement with him. We have an agreement with Continental. So I asked for proof. That's the letter I gave you.
Right. No, and thank you for sharing that with me.
Show me proof that how did this happen?
I can explain that to you. The reason why they're asking you to pay the rent to Lexmit. It's for your property and the other property involved. Lexmit purchased those properties. They're no longer Continental Pacific properties. He is the legal landowner right now.
But I
Okay. And
don't, the thing is,
that's already recorded at the Bureau of Conveyances. We asked Lex, he said, he readily admitted it, and he purchased 3 lots in Kahuku villages.
just to reiterate what your question was, yes, he is the campaign manager, and yes, he's the counsel for the CP. Just to let you know. That's a conflict of interest. Thing is I don't have an agreement with Lex. Now, if they're going to find me in default because I'm not paying him a rent, all I'm asking is, how did this happen? I sent a letter saying, verify this. Do you know what the verify was? Well, he told you to pay me. Now I told you to pay me. So that's significant enough information. So you pay me. And I'm like, what? That's not.
Well, you know, on that particular issue, we'll look into it further. Normally, when a property is sold, the tenant is advised in writing that the property has been sold. So that would have been notification. At that time, the property is sold. Because the property is sold, now your obligations are owed to the new landowner. That should have happened. Okay. So, I mean, that's something that we can look at. And that'll give us a little more leverage with respect to asking for a stay of evictions.
What I'm building it up to is, they told him, Mr. Tubal, to pay your rent to Lex's realtor. He paid the rent and the water. He sent the water back to them saying, pay the water to relief. On my letter here, back here, he's telling me to pay him the water and the rent. Are you making me trying to be default with Elite? So now you're going to have default on me so I can be evicted so you can sell this land?
Right.
The thing is, there's an email floating around that he walked up to somebody this morning and asked somebody if you want to buy these 3 lots. Did he buy it or are you trying to dump it and sell it? In other words, money, life, and survival, which is Pono.
There are several things that I believe that are not in the interest of the tenants above and beyond the evictions and above and beyond the treatment by the landowner of the tenants. Perhaps the most egregious from my perspective, because I'm a state lawmaker, not a county lawmaker, is that the relocation of tenants from a unit to a different section within the village is predicated on the assumption that the tenant assumes the mitigation and all that is it is related to with respect to the discovery of inadvertent discovery of bones. As long as CP is able to get away with that, they relinquish their responsibility as a landowner to the laws governing EV. And that is a huge relief on behalf of the landowner. And that's one of the reasons why, if you look at the reso, very specific in the articulation of the responsibility of the State Historic Preservation Division. That perhaps more than anything else remains a sticking point with the development. It's my own view that any eviction that is taken without first the report by the State Historic Preservation Division presumes certain things that are contrary to law. Landowners being landowners and having the one of the best law firms representing them in Hawaii have taken some action which has been unfortunate. Quite frankly, this whole situation is unfortunate.